Yeah. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I'm like, you cunts are fucked. Yeah. They're the people I want.
Robots
to do your fucking job.
But eventually, right, I reckon, here's my theory.
Okay, it was good, FireCast fam. Unfortunately, with this week's episode, we had some technical difficulties. It is our first technical difficulty in about 2 years. So, look, we're spewing. It is what it is. Nothing we can do. I tried every audio recovery method on the planet, and the audio is unfortunately gone. Just plain and simply, the SD card corrupted while we were recording. And if any of you that are tech savvy know what that means, it's horrible. And you basically, have very, very, very little chance to recover your stuff. So we've decided to give you guys, the best audio that we could. So you guys weren't listening to us through the camera speakers, which are just absolute rubbish. So we apologize as always. Give you guys a bit of a break this week from us yapping for 2 hours. We will be back next week like normal. And once again, apologies. Let's go.
What's up, Australia? Do you like going to the gym? Do you like staying hydrated? What about making content? Well, now you can hit all those birds with one stone with the Hydro Grip. This is a stainless steel double wall bottle that'll keep your drinks nice and cold or warm for hours on end. Best part, your phone sticks right to the top like that. You can flip it up. And next time you're in the gym, place it wherever you want, get your cool angles, show off your reps, post it to all your lovely followers, and you can tell them you got it from the Hydro Grip. Best part, 10% of all sales is donated to the Sydney Children's Hospital Foundation. So check it out, stay hydrated, Hydro Grip. Sheesh.
On news.
Yeah.
The news you interested is good interest. Only believe what we say.
Doom, doom, doom,
Well, big news just today, South Korea. Did you hear about this?
Yes.
What's going on in South Korea? The president called martial law in South Korea. Almost basically for what? No reason. He said it was because he's trying to, in the parliament, had been infiltrated by North Korean supporters and sympathizers or something. So he called martial law, where tanks are rolling down the street, helicopters are landing on the fucking parliament building and shit.
God damn.
And the parliament voted in his party and the opposing party, like 130 votes to 0.
190.
190 to 0 to override the martial law, and he wouldn't do it. And the army was like, we're not going to do it until the president calls it off.
Oh my God.
But then a couple hours later, earlier today, he did call it off. He ended up calling it off. But now people are saying, well, he should be impeached or step down or something. Because, like, what the fuck was that?
So they're not actually doing the martial law anymore?
It's done now. They called it off.
They did do it for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Well, so what?
it happened.
Was it a bit of an overreaction on his part,
spooked him,
maybe?
yeah.
Well, because he did it at 11 p.m. Like, people were going to bed. An unannounced
Off his head off
broadcast. He just...
He's off his head off coke. He's paranoid as he's like, North Korea, they're around the corner. But you would kind of, you would kind of be a bit like, if North Korea was, your next door neighbor essentially, like which they are. They're so different. Apparently, obviously, I've never been, but
heaps
so in one sense, you can say, yeah, maybe it was a bit of an overreaction because, like, you would want to try and defend yourself against, because North Korea would just swamp them, right? In terms of like their military and stuff, North Korea would just smoke them. But so maybe it's just kind of like why, in the same way that Americans bear right to arms because of protecting what's theirs, they were probably trying to go at that route a little bit, but maybe a bit too far.
Well, let me tell you why. So, very quickly, martial law suspends key democratic freedoms, giving the military authority to exercise more powers in times of war or major threats to public safety. It just declares, heavy restrictions on press freedom and an end to an ongoing strike by South Korean doctors. So that was a reason why he did it as well. Why was it declared? He accused his domestic political opponents of anti-state activities plotting rebellion. And he claims he was protecting the constitution from pro-North Korean forces.
I also read that his approval rating was like less than 10%. So he's like already, it was like a last ditch effort, because the last time they did martial law was, I think, the 80s or something, or 90, and he was trying to cling on to power or some shit, that he was trying to copy what had happened years ago.
Okay.
That's what I read, something along those lines, where his approval rating apparently is already dog shit.
I don't know how society copes when any country goes into martial law. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a very aggressive way of running a country. You know, it's like you got your government, which is like, yeah, they have access to the military and they can, you know, deem it wise to use them or not, and where it gets used. But if you just go straight to the military, they only know one thing: either like training for war or war. You know what I mean? Like, and war is the basis of what that run. Like, that can't be the focus of a country that's not like westernized like ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Would you say they're not really westernized, right?
Oh, but South Korea.
They are, but
fucking
but like they are compared to North Korea. But are they as westernized as us?
Yeah, bro.
And they were still gonna do that. Oh, not they.
That's why
it was just one guy's decision.
That's why it's shocking to everyone in the whole world, because it's like, this is a Western. It's like, it was like he was trying to prevent a coup or something, but he just created all this shit that you don't really see in civilized Western countries. You know, it's a shock. Like, everyone's like, what the fuck?
I still deem he was on coke at 11 p.m. that night.
It's a good theory.
They now are going to vote on Friday, or as early as Friday, on whether he should be impeached or not. Yeah.
I reckon he'll probably step down.
Like impeached being like, what's impeached?
It's where they get like
criminal
they get
trials
charged. Like, Donald Trump's been impeached like 2 times or some shit.
Yeah, so it's a charge of misconduct made against the holder of a public office.
Yep.
Oh, he made a mistake. He pulled the trigger too quick.
Yeah, you don't get to make mistakes like that when you're in that high.
You're head honcho, bro.
Yeah.
Does anyone want mate?
Yes.
Want mate?
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, fuck, in his defense, imagine having Kim Jong-un as your neighbor. Fuck
That's what I mean, bro,
He's
yeah.
constantly throwing shit in your yard and shit.
And-
You're like,
and-
fuck this cunt.
And I don't know, do we know much about like the details of these North Korea like provocateurs that were in there? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's very vague what he's
very
saying.
vague.
Like,
but how
are
do we know
these?
it's fake though? What
exactly.
if he kind of was onto something and they stomped it out? I don't know. Like,
But the funny thing is that his own party as well, it was unanimous in the parliament to overwrite his decision. So, like, no one agreed with it. Even his own party is like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
man?
so I guess if all is against one, then it's usually that
Something
one
weird.
that's in the wrong.
It's super weird.
How old is he? Is he like an old codger? Or?
No, he probably looks not a
Maybe.
day over 20.
Yeah, well, because he's Asian. So
Yeah.
I thought he looked pretty young.
He'll look 20 till he's 80 and then he'll look 1,000.
He's 63.
Yeah,
Yeah,
63.
there you go. So the mind's going a little
So,
bit.
yeah, I almost look his age. And
Bro, Biden's fucking 84, the cunt is still the president. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's not far behind,
No,
though.
he's 78.
no, he's just had a few
Donald
more
Trump's
trips to the
78.
solarium.
But he looks great, bro. He doesn't
talking
age.
about being impeached, he looks like he's had peaches thrown at him.
The
The cunt.
tan is a little crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
It's been
Yeah.
crazy for a
Come
while.
on.
Crazy the shit he's said about his daughter. Have you heard the sex comments
Let's
about
not
his
get
daughter?
stuck
Anyway,
in
whatever.
there.
Sorry, but I just heard a snippet of that and I was like, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's pretty wild. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think he'll probably step down or something from
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, surely. Fucking crazy old bastard. I seen something that made me kind of rethink some of the things I have said
Wow.
on this podcast before. And that takes a lot coming from me, right? Because I'm never wrong, except for the MDMA on trees thing, right? So, I was watching an interview with Russ. I love this fucking guy.
Yeah, I love Russ.
I don't want to make music with him. I just want to fucking meet him and just sit down with him and just...
Although making music with him would be a bonus.
It'd be cool, but I feel like I wouldn't get much from it. I'd get people like
DZ
Russ. You just got to listen. You just listen and you take all the advice, you soak it in, bro, like a sponge, and you just ask questions. And this guy was saying, he made such a good point, right? He said, he basically said all the things we've said before. He goes, yep, you know, the whole social media thing with the music, you know, we hate it. Us older people, we're not so into it. We find it cringe, yada, yada, yada. And then he goes, but to be just straight up with you, if you don't want to basically spend more time on the social media than your music, then you don't want the music bad enough. There's a part of the business. If you want to make it in music, you need to get good at social media and content creation. And I was like, so simple, but I just felt like I needed to hear it. And I'm like, fucking this little fucking bastard. So I take back everything I've said about social media. I love it now. I literally love it. And next year is going to be the year where we focus on content.
Yeah.
Good clips, ideas. We're going to put the whole cringeness behind us. We're not going to dance in fucking tutus and shit. That's where we'll draw the line. We're not going to do little TikTok dances. But we really need to fucking step it up. And that goes for everyone, that all of our homies that we make music with, because I know we're all in the same fucking boat. But we really need to now, if you want to literally quit your 9 to 5 and survive off your music, we fucking need to get good at social media.
Have you guys thought about like for the podcast having like a social media for like FireCast specifically?
Yeah, I've thought about that. It's
Not
just,
yet.
What's
Not yet.
What's the thing with me is it's starting from zero all over
Yeah.
again. So
Right.
we eventually we will.
Yeah.
Eventually.
But I feel like once we build up our people listening a little bit more, and
Yeah.
it'll be
For sure,
easier
yeah.
right off the bat
That
to
makes
get them to
sense.
follow.
Yeah.
Because like I've done it with the Trip Jacket Mafia page on Instagram, and that's only just over 100 followers. It's been fucking
Right.
like a year.
Yeah.
You
You need
know,
the
so-
content and the following. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's just going to be another dead thing
page
in the wind.
that I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to manage, and it's gonna take focus away from my page, which I'm also trying to grind as fuck on.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I'm like at 8,000 followers or something on TikTok, which is pretty good, you know. So the TikTok's doing well. The videos are getting more and more views every time. I'm just gonna keep grinding. But I've been on Russ for ages, man. I've spoken. He's dropped
He's
so
great.
much gems, man. And people hate on him. He gets
No.
hate on.
Because he's
people-
unique. He's
people,
unique.
They don't fuck with him because he's arrogant, but he deserves to be. Like, he's cocky because he's done it, man. Like, and he said a lot of stuff about consistency. He says, people say, oh, what is it, quality or quantity, right? A lot of people are perfectionists, and they'll sit on their song for fucking 6 months, drop 2 songs a year,
Yeah,
right?
bro. Right.
You will not make it doing
Yeah.
that. I don't care if you're fucking Adele, bro. If you're dropping a song once every fucking 6 months, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
I seen Chillin' It uploaded a video on YouTube, I think yesterday.
Katsu?
It's no, it was one after that, I think. But it's at 6,000 views, and it's been like 2 days. Chilling It before, if he was when he was in his
Yeah.
prime, he dropped a video that's 100K views in 2 days. You know
It
what
is-
I'm saying?
yeah,
He's
it
lost
is-
momentum.
You,
bro.
because he took too long off, man.
Yeah.
Like, you have to stay in people's faces these days. Like, and you need quality and quantity. That's what Russ says. He's like, you need both.
Yes.
You need both. You need to be consistent. You need to be dropping shit. Like, what we're doing with the albums is wrong. We're not supposed to be dropping albums, man. And I've known that. We both known that. But we do it because it's fun. We like doing it, right? People enjoy it, the people that do listen. But realistically, if you want to blow your music up,
Singles.
singles.
And you make a lot of singles. Like, your output's pretty...
If we took all those songs into albums and spread them out, dropping them every 2 weeks between each other,
Yeah.
that's a lot more momentum than dropping an album.
Yeah, for sure.
But we just like it because it's fun, man.
Yep.
And we're going to keep doing albums, of course. But like, I kind of want to do, like, when I was doing the Sunday thing, I think I'm going to bring that back, where every 2 weeks I was doing DZ Sundays and I drop a song, and I had all these songs with the same cover art, just slightly different
But
with the
this
little
time
image.
we'll try to do some
And
clips
then-
and shit with
And
it.
then
Like,
you compile them into an album. All those tracks you released, you put them into an album. So even though they've already been released, you re-release them in the album with bonus tracks, new tracks. That's what I did
Yeah.
with Sunday, and that was like, I feel like I got a lot out of that, man. That was a good album. That was a good traction on all those tracks. So I kind of want to do that again. I feel like next year I might take that approach.
Yeah, that's why next year is going to be the year of content for us. Songs I've already got out. I want to make clips for them, market them,
Yeah.
do things
Yeah.
on TikTok. It's going to kill my soul, man. It's going to kill my
But
soul.
bro, you just on TikTok, you just need to post anything. Post every day, 3 times a day, so you can do what I'm doing. Post clips. You don't have anything. You make real content that you want to put time and effort into. But when you don't have that content, post clips from the podcast.
Yeah.
Just screen record the podcast, chop it down, and post it.
Yeah.
Just post. You
I
need
fell
to
off the
tease
TikTok. I
algorithm.
fell off the TikTok wagon pretty heavily myself as well.
It's hard.
Yeah, but
It's
I've always thought, if I'm gonna I wouldn't even mind at some stage. I know it's another dead account, but right now I don't have Insta, right? And I was thinking, imagine if me / Tori or probably me or maybe me, but like you're probably like more cluey with all of it. But I wouldn't mind starting it off, and even though it's a dead account, it's still an account that's still there. You know what I mean?
You start somewhere.
Start somewhere, and then by the time traction builds, you already have an account, even if it's like.
Yeah.
Even if it's not doing crazy, it's just started. I don't know. Maybe that's something I can do, because I feel like TikTok, or maybe is TikTok, you reckon, the best way?
No,
to...
it's TikTok. We
Okay.
need to get good at
TikTok.
TikTok.
Okay.
Bro, we need to get good
Yeah,
at TikTok.
okay.
Like I used to be
That's
such
crazy, bro.
It's
TikTok, man.
fucked. It's lit, bro. Like it's
It blew up. It
We can't-
overtook everything.
you have to admit defeat.
Yeah.
And we are in the era of, if you want to attract these younger people who are going to buy the albums, go to the shows, listen to your shit, buy the merch, you need to give them content in a short, quick form.
TikTok
That's
really
it.
fucked us all, eh?
Bro, I'm telling you, TikTok fucked us. It fried us. But what's my favorite saying? You got to jump on board or you're fucking left behind.
Yeah.
And I can sit here and complain all I want. It's cringe, it's this, it's that. But I also don't want to be fucking 40-something years old still sitting here trying to make music, talking on FireCast. Oh, my music hasn't blown up. Well, yeah, no shit. Because, you know what I mean? You've got to fucking get good at content creation. Yeah. I hate saying it, but we do.
I think this is the thing, and the music is a bonus. I think the traction we're getting on this is doing so well. It's going so well. Thank you, everyone who listens, tunes in with us. New people telling me they're listening all the time. People from everywhere.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And my music as well, since the Wombat feature, is doing real good, man. My music's real good. I look at my listeners all over the world where they're coming from. I can't believe it, man. I haven't been under 900 fucking monthly listeners
since
the Wombat feature.
Yeah, I think I haven't been under like 600.
You know, I look where the streams are coming from, and Wombat's playlist. You know, Spotify makes you like, this is Wombat or this is that. This is Wombat. I'm getting so much streams from that. This is Wombat every day. So you know, like the music's doing well, the podcast is doing well. We just got to keep going. It's just about consistency and that content, stepping up your content.
I think with the consistency of this podcast, now we've got Tori on board too, which is a fresh brain,
fresh perspective.
We just got to come up now with those not crazy ideas, but you know, something cool like the hat thing we just did with the game, and then get clips of that shit, and then.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
With the new camera, the clips are already doing better, man.
Exactly.
It's crazy how much of a difference the new camera made.
I've been fucking saying this for
like
fucking
the
ages.
clips, the TikToks. I've been posting so long on TikTok. It's a grind. I do it every day.
Yep.
But the videos are going from 200 views. Now they're getting thousands.
Because they can see what we look like.
And my followers are going up. So, like, you just got to grind.
Yep.
You just got to grind.
Yep. This is a message for all of you motherfuckers, man. We got it. Next year's the year where we all... Half of you motherfuckers got to have a break from music anyway because you're fucking ass, for one. So fucking take a break and fucking come up with content ideas for the good songs you got. Because like I said, self-awareness as well, you motherfuckers, all right?
That's what Russ said. He said some people think it's they're like, oh no, just I don't have any money. But it's like, really, your music is shit.
Bro,
like,
literally.
Remember he was saying that? He was like, he's like, yeah, people don't want to accept that they're just not good
They
either.
just, yeah. So that's another thing too. But
it's crazy. The self-awareness thing is crazy because it blows my mind that people can't. Do you know you're not good and you're just doing it anyway? Or like, how do they like? I mean, when it's shit, like you listen to these cunts and it's like the quality's ass. It's like recorded off their fucking USB computer. It's like, bro, how? Like, how are
They're
you?
just impatient. They want to just get that superstardom overnight and be like, oh, it's this easy.
Delusional.
Like,
it doesn't exist, man. That's not going to happen.
It's like someone saying like, I want to run my own business because it's profitable, and then they really realize how hard running your own business is, and then you're like, oh shit. Maybe I'm not cut out. But some people don't know when to call it, you know?
Yeah. Do you see yourself going back into business before you move on to the next one?
Probably not, bro.
Yeah?
The company I'm at now,
It's too good, eh?
it's just like with the too good plus the benefits that will help set me up later.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the life that we want to live right now, it's definitely not like that was clashing. But as well as we get older, it's like, I don't know, like eventually kids, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't want to be stressed to the point of the work follows me. And then it's like, that's all it is, where I'm earning such good money on wages and like all these like, you know, all these bonuses and whatever, like, you know, holidays as well. Before I'd go on holidays and with my business, I just pay for it myself. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have that drive in me anymore. Even sometimes I've been turning away some little odd jobs. Like people reach out, and they're like, "Is this JK Electrical?" I still get called, oh yeah, I just want this and that. But it's never anything of. If someone literally said, "I want 20 downlights, this, that, blah, blah," and it was like profitable, like I don't want to leave my house for $300 anymore or $200.
Yeah.
And some people are willing to. Like there's Airtasker where you get some you know, Indian guy that's willing to work for peanuts, and then he'll undercut you on that app. You know what I mean? I've just been focusing on, like, I barely have time for fucking anything. Even the Precision Fire, they're just giving us that much work. I'm working so much OT every week is crazy pay. So I'm like, I'd rather just not, you know what I mean, organize my own jobs like before. So yeah.
What if Firecast starts paying you?
That's the thing. Bro, I could, man.
Am I included in this?
Yes, you are. Of course. Yeah, it's definitely like a dream of mine to not have to
Work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
It
the,
was
that's
a dream-
the, that's
it's
the
a dream
fucking
of-
goal.
it's a
That's what we've been doing.
It's a dream for everyone, right? But like, I feel like even like Paddy from Precision, shout out Paddy, he was even saying, I think the difference with you guys, and like obviously there's so many successful podcasts out there, but the difference between you guys and like the masses that just have a podcast just to have one, right? Which is the consistency isn't there. Whereas we do one every week.
Fucking
you know what I mean?
yes.
And we're doing not just an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're
we're
doing the damn
2
thing.
hours.
So I'm pretty proud of
Yeah.
how far we've came. And like you said about fucking, I'm not saying it's going to be the same capacity, but we're saying Dom Dollar. You know, he's been around for over a decade, this and that. Some people are in their fields, whatever that might be, you know, music making, podcasts, this and that, for years. And then one viral clip, you know what I mean? But I do agree, next year, New Year's resolution should be more content. You know?
Content. We sit
It'll
down,
come.
Yeah.
It'll come.
do some ideas on that.
Did you hear the Aussie Olympic boxer Harry
Yeah, I
Garside's
saw
ex
this.
pleads guilty to assault? So the girl actually assaulted him. She is also a boxer. So I just thought
They were sparring.
it's not a funny topic, right, at all. But when it showed me a picture, I had to reread it twice because I thought the girl got beaten up, because that's
Yeah.
the common story,
Yeah,
right?
of
You're
course.
just so used to hearing it lately. But then it's got she's assaulted him. Now he has assaulted her previously, though.
Oh, yeah.
So-
But wasn't it that she accused him, but it wasn't true, and then she admitted that she lied about it and she abused him?
Maybe, yes, maybe. I
thought that's
wasn't
what I-
aware.
I don't
wasn't
know. I
aware.
could be wrong.
It was said, it was rumored maybe that he had beat on her before, but now she pleaded guilty to assaulting him. And I think the message we can come away from this is, if you date a boxer, right, and they are somewhat capable at all of domestic violence, do you know how much more scary that is to
Yeah,
someone
well-
that's just an abuser, which is still scary, but if that abuser knows how to
Yeah, fucking
oh
hell.
my
Where
god,
my fucking egg
I
be-
wonder did he not clean up his after himself, and she just went, you know what, fuck this, boom, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that'd be scary as. Like, imagine getting beaten on by your missus, you know?
Can you find anything about that, Tori? What's the scoop here?
Yeah, I'm just trying to read it now. It's pretty much what Joey said. She was convicted. Sorry, let me get back to the other article because the other one was better. Can't find anything about his previous conviction or anything though. But she pled guilty to assaulting him and has been placed on a conditional release order without conviction. It's also admitting to 1 count of domestic violence related assault and 1 count of stalking or intimidation with intent to cause fear. She was released. She was imposed a conditional release order for 1 year, and is now subject to a 2-year apprehended domestic violence order. So I think
Like an AVO, right?
yeah, I just read that they were out. It was during the day, and the court documents say that she dropped a suitcase and lunged at him, attempting to take his phone, and made contact with his hand. Started recording. Blah blah blah. She spat at him.
So he cheated. He probably cheated. If she's grabbing,
Grabbing the phone.
Yeah.
Who's that bitch?
yeah.
Oh no, hold on. Here's that case. Dylan, you said Mr. Garside had previously been charged over the same incident and denied wrongdoing, and the case against him was withdrawn about a month after. So he was, charged, but then essentially they were dropped. Yeah.
So for that same incident, so
Yeah.
she was kind of putting the spin on him that
Yeah.
he was a aggressor.
yes, that's correct. Yeah. So yeah.
Wow, interesting.
I feel like there's nothing scary. Like, I remember I did boxing. I'm a very pick something up for about a month. Like, I did jiu-jitsu for 2 months, and I'm like, I guess I'm Con Gracie now,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu. But I did it for 2 months, and then I got tired of people sweating on me, so I was like, and tapping me out. So not just the sweating on me, but I had the audacity to tap me out as well. And I did the same thing with boxing, right? I'm like, I'm gonna be a boxer now, like Adrian, you know what I mean? You got him, Rocky. And then I'm gonna do that for a month or two, right? I did that for about a month, and then within that time at the gym that I was, practicing at, I wasn't even fighting, right? There was a sparring ring, and then there was us just learning how to punch. Period. Right?
Like the babies.
yeah. I'm literally just punching. All of a sudden, from the sparring ring, I hear, sa, 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 sa. And I'm like, what the fuck? I look over, and there was this girl sparring with a guy. She had a back like a fucking barrel of snakes,
my
right?
God.
And she was just throwing down. And when people spar, right, if you're not used to people hitting each other, I watch it every week on UFC, right? But I've rarely ever watched people scrap in person. I've seen probably about 5 proper scraps in my life. So when people spar, I think, oh, that's quite hard. They're hitting each other. Because I'm like, but really, they're hitting each other, connecting, but they're not following through with intent.
Yeah.
But I think the aggressive, this girl was just launching punches at this guy, and I'm like, holy fuck, and she was getting the better of him as well. And I'm just thinking, it doesn't matter of gender, right? There are so many women in this world that can beat me the fuck up. It's crazy. So like, I'm just thinking this girl, like, you know, they've obviously had their differences. You don't know what's happened. He might be the, you know, the instigator, whatever. I'm not saying what she did is right, but we don't know.
I'd be cooking, I'd be cleaning, I'd be walking the dogs, bathing the dogs, making the bed, doing the dishes.
Cooking a steak.
Whatever you want, honey.
Yeah.
Fucking
Just protect me on a night out.
yeah, fucking oh.
Imagine you're on a night out, right? And then these
your
guys want
missus
to
stands up for you.
yeah. And you're like, no, guys, listen, be the bigger man. And your missus is like, fucking.
Did you guys see the man in America in a roller coaster gets checked, safety all good, click. He said that when the roller coaster got to the top of the fucking drop, he hears a click and he goes, what the fuck? And he realized that his safety harnesses was coming up at the top of the fucking thing, right? So the park was called at Castles and Coasters in Arizona. Tori, if that helps you search it.
Yeah.
He then made the decision. So in that, what are you doing in that decision? Do you stay in the ride and just hang on for dear life, or do you jump out? This motherfucker jumped out before the thing fucking, and he got out all right.
So did he jump out and just stand on the track up top?
No. So he jumped out. So you know how there's obviously like the safety thing
walkway
ladder. Yeah, he jumped off and was standing on, like, walked down.
See, I would have been a dumb cunt and just grabbed his side.
Hold on for dear life.
I'm like gravity, right? If I lean far enough back like this,
nah, that thing will throw you out.
No matter
man.
how steep it is, I'll just be standing up. Like,
That's terrifying. No, but that's what everyone reckons in the comments are saying, that decision saved his life.
Yeah, 100%.
I would have.
Which one of you dumbasses, like the Thunder God, would have tried to sit in the seat holding on to the open bars?
And don't lie either.
Yeah, don't lie.
Because like it'd be easy to freeze in that situation.
Oh, yeah,
man. You'd be
bro,
like, bro, this isn't
fight or flight.
like, because by the time you realize this isn't meant to be happening,
You're probably going down.
yeah. Because I remember at Luna Park when I was younger, like a kid, I used to love but hate the wild mouse. Do you remember the wild mouse?
Yeah.
When you're at the top and it's like doing sharp S bends, I thought, what's stopping this thing on that sharp S bend from just going off? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, roller coasters are.
and you got those dodgy carnies that are like, they've got 3 teeth missing.
Yeah,
And they're just shoving you in.
Like
Like,
chewing tobacco and shit.
They're responsible for your fucking life.
yeah.
Did you see the Commonwealth Bank? They introduced a $3 fee for people to get their own money out at the branches.
And they
but
still
they
say-
backflipped. They backpedaled because there was so much outrage.
Yeah.
Oh.
But and then they were adamant they're not trying to go cashless.
Yes.
You know,
But they
this-
are.
But clearly they are. Why would you introduce a fee to get your own money? $3 too. That's more than the fucking cheap Chinese fucking
That's 3 frozen
ATMs,
Cokes.
bro. Like, so everyone obviously naturally was outraged, and then they've backpedaled now, saying they're scrapping it, which I'm surprised
Well,
that they did. But
some machines are like $2.50 anyway. So, but
bro, you know, I was on the phone to Commonwealth Bank today actually because I ran a campaign on Spotify, right, for music that was a while back. I ran a campaign, and for some reason, the bank keeps flagging it as
Like
a
scam.
potential scam. So they don't let the payments go through. And I owed this money to Spotify, and they kept trying to take it out, and it kept getting flagged, and I kept getting notifications. And this is going on for like a month and a half now, 2 months now. And it was pissing me off. And today at work, I was like, fuck this. I called these cunts, and then the first department, I'm on hold for fucking 15 minutes. First guy, yada, yada, I'll transfer you later. I'm on hold again, 20 minutes. She goes, oh, yeah. And this chick was funny too, right? She goes, I goes, from Spotify, right? It's not a scam. Can you please allow this? She goes, oh, Spotify, yeah, that's weird. I'm like, no, it's not Spotify like I'm paying for I'm an artist. So it's from the artist side. I'm trying to, she's like, oh, what kind of music do you do? What, really? I'm like,
Listen to FireCast, bitch.
I was like, well, yeah, I do hip hop. She's like, oh, wow, really? That's really cool. She's like, I hope it works out for you. I'm like, yeah, well, just
Well,
fix
obviously
the
not,
problem,
because
bitch.
I owe money to Spotify, bitch.
But then after that, she's like, okay, well, I'll transfer you to these guys and they should be able to help you. And then again, I'm on 25 minutes on fucking hold again. Finally, they fixed it and I paid the thing and shit. But like, why did they transfer me to that second chick? She served no purpose except to ask me about my music. She did nothing for me.
I'll tell you what, because you forget that even at the bank, there's workers that don't know as much as someone else. So you forget that. You think that just because they work at the bank, they're going to know. They got all the details. But there's so many people. I reckon if I worked at the bank, I'd be that chick. I'd be the guy that has a yarn. Hey, so what seems to be the problem? Then I'll sidetrack him a little bit, and we'll end up down this rabbit hole. Then I'm like, I'll just patch it through 1 second.
You wasted 20 minutes of your
what
time.
Are you doing the whole time?
You work at a bank, Tori?
Yeah. I was just about to say, like, even...
And she's got a bank voice, don't you think? She's not on the phones, but...
Yeah. I was just about to say that I think that's like with any sort of bank or finance sort of company. Even with my... Like, I manage a team within my company, but, like, that's... To get to my team, you have to go through 2 other teams to get to us.
1,500 departments.
Yeah, there's so many departments because you can't have one person trained and have the knowledge for everything, as I'm sure you guys can understand.
Yeah.
But I do understand when you contact a place and there's like 20-minute wait times for every single queue, it's like, well,
crazy.
Pick up your fucking act then or have one person that knows how to do everything.
Yeah.
But with finance or any sort of... like world like that, you're always going to be put through to a million different...
Jumping through hoops to talk to
So can I ask, working at a bank, right, it starts off like any job. You got to go into the office every day, you get taught, you learn, and then you're just kind of just chilling on the phone? Like, what's the...
Yeah, well, I mean, I work for a mortgage broking company. I used to work for a bank, but now I work for like a mortgage brokering company.
Yeah.
But when I started this place, which was 7 years ago, we had to go into the office every single day. You do all of your training and you get trained in the basic customer service team.
Yeah.
And then in that 7 years, I've progressed through several different teams. And now I'm like an operations manager, essentially.
Yeah,
where
okay,
I manage
cool.
a team. But I started off as literally the person that you call.
To complain to.
Yeah, well, not even complain like that. You just call and you go, hey, what's my balance? And I'm like, yeah, your balance.
It's minus $9,000 there.
Yeah, like you start at the very bottom and then I've worked my way through several different teams and then now obviously I'm managing a
That's
space.
cool.
But yeah, finance companies and stuff like that, like, you know, that sort of world. Yeah. Especially with CBA and shit like that, the wait times are always like crazy.
Those money corporate jobs, man. Pierce is an insurance broker.
Yeah.
And he seems to love it. But
you either love it or you hate it.
I'm like, bro, it is so funny too because this kind of is the most unserious cunt ever. But then he's a full professional.
Because he'd be just trolling cunts that answer the phone and shit.
He can turn it up though. I can picture him at work. Like he's a serious smart dude. But fucking hell, you can't get a serious word out of this.
But I guess that's if you're so serious at your job, if you have that unserious bone in your body like he does, I suppose you wouldn't want to continue to be serious outside work. You know what I mean? Like if you're supposed to be serious 8 hours a day minimum. He just has that in him. You know what I mean? He's not some boring dude that he doesn't fit the role of what someone you would think works that job. You know what I mean? You'd think that, just boring. It's like an accountant. You think every accountant is like
a robot.
Lame.
Yeah, interesting.
I was saying before just today, this is random as, but I was talking to a guy on site and he was saying that, you know, I was saying how there's so much work in our industry, right? The construction industry and stuff. And he was saying how we've said before, how now there's so many things are making people, you know, redundant, like their jobs, like even Tory's work. They've cut down costs of labor. They've hired one for
We're bringing in AI.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but we've just brought in like 2 new AI
bots.
Yeah,
everywhere's doing it.
One of them is that where we now have a system that is going to listen to all of our phone calls and provide quality assurance. When you take inbound calls, you have to QA your calls to make sure that your team is like not, you know, doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
We currently have humans that do that. We've now brought in a transcribing AI thing, which is going to listen and you give it prompts and it does it all. Which is insane because 7 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago,
didn't exist.
It did not exist.
Yeah,
now you
wow.
literally have an AI thing that is going to listen to the whole call. 30-minute phone call, I don't need to listen to it anymore because an AI thing will listen to it for me.
Yes, it's crazy.
Sorry to cut you off,
everywhere, even on Spotify, everywhere you talk to and you say contact us, they got an AI now. An AI first, and then I'm like, fuck this, talk to a human. Give me your phone.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people get the shits having to sound every sentence out very clearly. Otherwise, it'll think you said rabbit when really you said this. You know what I mean? But where I was going with that was he was saying how we're in this industry we're in only just going to keep getting paid more because you're not going to get AI to do what we do.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
Not yet.
So I feel not yet, but it's going to take a very long time.
Have you seen the new Tesla robot update where they gave it a hand update and it can catch tennis balls now? And they're throwing tennis balls at it and scatter them?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, bro, in fucking 5 years, they're going to be electrical fucking droids doing that.
That'd be great. And then when they get a zap, they just absorb the energy and they reuse it. They don't get zapped. Like, they don't get like hurt. They're just like, and then they can charge your car. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well,
Legit,
the quicker the AI takes half you fucking goofy ass fucking jobs, good. Because on the weekend before Dom Dollar, I'm looking for these fucking stupid gumboots. Right. Chloe calls fucking Kmart. Hey, you got gumboots? Yeah, we got gumboots. All right, can you put 2 on hold under this name, Chloe? We're going to be there soon to pick them up. Yeah, no worries. I rock up 40 minutes later, go to the desk. Hey, can I pick up the thing I've got on hold? Yeah, what's the name? Okay, Chloe. Walk like a fucking sloth, waddling to the back. Ding, 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 ding. Gone for 20 minutes. They're just gone. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'm like, is it there or not? Come back. What's the name on that? Chloe, bro. Is it there or not? Waddle back. Another 10 minutes. Come back. Oh, no, there's nothing here. You fucking said on the phone you had him here. So so you're telling me you answered the phone, told me you're going to put him aside. You were that lazy you didn't do it, and now you don't know what I'm fucking talking about? Yeah. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I'm like, you cunts are fucked. Yeah. They're the people I want.
Robots
to do your fucking
job. But eventually, right, I reckon, here's my theory. Robots and that will get that advanced where they'll be that advanced enough to actually kind of they're going to be that self-driven that some of them will end up having a shit work ethic because they'll have that consciousness. They'll eventually have a consciousness of their own where you'll have a robot that's not as lazy as a lazy human, but they're their version of a lazy robot. You know what I mean? Like their productivity will be like, fuck this man, he's having ciggies at Smoko.
He's drinking oil.
Yeah, it's the electronic vapes. You know those ones.
But speaking of robots, there was this Chinese company, right, and they got a robot to convince the rival company's 12 other robots. So the robot went in there, convinced them to leave their job and quit. And the robot's like, hey, follow me. And they all started following. Like, he convinced them to leave their post and got them to leave the job or some shit.
But wasn't it controlled by a human?
It was a test. Yeah. They were testing it, but they just gave the robot the instructions and the robot went and did it. They're like, go tell these robots to try and get them to leave, convince them to leave. And it was pretty easy. It did it fairly easily, but like... It's getting there.
So we're going to be at the pub soon drinking with robots.
Speaking of getting there, this is crazy. I couldn't believe this, right, Tori? You might want to look this up. Apparently, because I didn't look too deep, but apparently they've achieved the first communication through dreams. So they had someone in a research lab. They gave them a word through the machine, right? While they were dreaming, achieving a lucid state in their dream. They gave them a word. They woke up and confirmed the word. And then they got a second person to sleep in a different area, and they got the same word, and they woke up and confirmed it, or some. What's the details?
Yeah, so researchers at REM Space, which is a startup in California, have made an important discovery. Lucid dreams might help people communicate in new ways. They use special equipment to help two people enter lucid dreams and send a simple message to each other. Earlier, REM Space showed that sensors could pick up specific sounds made during dreams, and this led to the creation of REMyo, which is a special dream language detected by sensitive sensors. On September 24, participants slept at home while their brain was actively monitored on a special device. First person entered a lucid dream and the system sent him a random REMyo word through earbuds. He repeated the word in his dream and it was recorded. 8 minutes later, the second participant also entered a lucid dream, received the first participant's message and confirmed it when she woke up. This marked the first ever chat exchanged in dreams.
Wow.
Additionally, 2 other people could communicate with the system during their dreams.
Holy shit.
Now this REMyo language they're talking about, right? Do we speak exactly how we speak when we're awake? Because sometimes I'll sleep talk, so I'm told. Obviously, you don't hear yourself sleep talk, but do you know how you yell out something that's gibberish and you're like,
I do that.
Is that REMyo language they're talking about, or are we talking like they're saying normal words to each other?
No, it's like normal. Normal word.
Rose, last night when Rose told me that Dove was sleeping, she did this. She was sleeping and she went, She spoke some weird fucking.
Oh my
Oh
god.
God.
She was supposed to be
Allah
ISIS.
Akbar.
Yeah.
But she reached at the roof like this, spoke.
My little ISIS member. My little cute ISIS member.
Spoken tongues and then fucking.
Oh,
Starts talking parcel tongue.
I do that too, though. I say gibberish in my sleep as well.
So does Joey, and I'll try to encourage him to talk more, just in case I'm going to catch him out on something.
In case I say a girl's name
No,
or
I
something.
always do that. He is notorious for talking in his sleep, and he always goes to sleep before me, and he'll start talking, and I'll be like, "What did you say?" I'll be like, "What was that, babe?" And then he'll repeat again. I was like, "Oh, say it again. Like I could say. Sorry, what were you saying?"
What was that girl's name?
Yeah, and then like I
Wake
try
up, she's got a
to,
butcher's knife.
but it's always gibberish. Like it always, nothing ever makes sense ever.
I'm trying to send her a
weird,
message for a Remyo.
Remyo, yeah, very interesting.
That's crazy. So what would they? But what is the purpose of that though? Like, what's the practicality of the use? Like, I feel like they have a lot of time on their hands.
Have you
know what I
seen
mean?
Futurama where they have the ads in their dreams? That's why
Yeah.
the companies are probably frothing at the
Oh,
mouth
yeah,
now.
yeah.
They're like, ooh,
Yeah.
rubbing their hands together.
Yeah, fucking oath. So while you're sleeping, you're gonna get pictures of like Nike shoes and shit.
So maybe they could like
You're gonna wake up and say, I feel like wearing some Nikes.
yeah, they could get manipulated into buying a certain brand.
Oh, bro,
Or,
yeah,
you know
bro,
what I mean?
that
Like-
will eventually happen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
maybe hundreds of years from
Yeah,
now. But
yeah, yeah.
that's this, bro. I'm telling you, people that these companies are evil. Like, all they care about is they get on the trend so early that they can profit,
Yeah,
and then we all lag behind like 30 years later. Like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a good time to be alive. It's exciting, you know.
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah,
It's
super
you
exciting.
never know what new invention is around the corner, and it's always just like baffling to
and
me.
you're
Like,
gonna hear it on the FireCast first.
you literally are every week, baby. No weeks missed, huh?
Pussy. My last point, right? Because this camera is fucking causing us some grief, but we do it for the quality of the video, right? But did you guys see that Australia's first cryonics patient has been frozen in New South Wales?
I heard about this.
So
very
the cryo, like the cryo chamber,
In
is what you
cryo
got.
sleep. So whether I don't know whether this person's like old and kind of just wants to save his life for a bit later. I don't know if it's like someone who's like a future Rama enthusiast who wants to try like live in the future. I don't know any info on the
Aren't
patient.
they usually already dead, though?
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, so what's the point of cryo
Well,
sleep? then?
because they hope that in the future they'll be able to revive him, so they keep the body from decomposing by freezing it.
I thought this was like this fucker's alive. He's gone to sleep.
Isn't that like Walt Disney done that or something?
Apparently,
Yeah.
and apparently they made the movie Frozen to try throw people off. So if you type in Google Disney Frozen, it'll pop up with the movie. So it's dragging the traffic away from Walt Disney.
Yeah, yeah.
But it makes more sense to
That's
freeze yourself
interesting.
while you're alive. I feel
Yeah,
like.
because then you can wake up and see like robots fucking butt fucking each other and shit.
Yeah, but obviously, people. What if you're alive? You freeze yourself and you're stuck.
You wake up.
For eternity, you're stuck in the frozen hell
No,
state.
that's cool. Sorry, it's just like you wake up and robots are butt fucking people.
Well, I thought that was the point of it. If I'm
Yeah.
already dead, might as well just fucking feed me to the coyotes.
Yeah, that's kind of
You-
like I
yeah.
feel like that's main character syndrome 101. If you're willing to have your body frozen, it's like, bro, just die.
I don't think they'll be able to bring you back once you're dead. I think once your soul's gone, man. You can't bring
Your
that shit
body
back.
shuts down. That's it. Closes up shop. That's it.
Unless you store your memories or something on a USB,
Yeah.
freeze your body, and then maybe they can
Boom.
upload
Yeah.
it into your brain.
But you
or,
still won't be the same person at the core.
yeah, I feel like the soul's gone.
Is there info touring like a price or something? Like what is
I'll
there?
try find a price, but on
You
the guy that you're talking about, he was in his 80s and he was in Sydney, and he died. And essentially, the people that run the company or whoever it is that's doing this freezing or whatever, it was a 10-hour process to preserve his body in the hope of it being brought back to life down the track. They originally, like put him in a special type of sleeping bag when he died at the hospital, packed it with dry ice and brought his temperature down to around minus 80 degrees.
Fuck.
However, he's since been moved to the actual Southern Cryonics Holbrook facility, which is where they, I guess, store them. And his temperature has now been brought down to around minus 200 degrees
And then
in a cooling chamber.
and there must be a level of like you have to go past a certain level for it to be for it to
Yeah.
work, right?
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I feel like with that, it's like what a shit age to get brought back at. Like,
80.
I was just
like,
gonna
if
say
I
that,
get brought back
yeah.
at 80, it's like, does he have the spirit and the body and the or does he have like a childlike mind and he's like Benjamin Button?
That's a
and-
good point.
You know what I mean?
In terms of a cost, just a quick Google, the cost of cryogenic freezing or cryopreservation in Australia can be more than $170,000.
What?
Expanding.
This includes the cost of the initial procedure and storage.
So basically, only the rich will probably ever have access to this.
No offense,
But
if one of you
they're-
motherfuckers
But
want me to
most
freeze you,
most
bro.
of the rich and famous are probably that vain. They're that vain. They'll do that and be like,
Oh, yeah.
this is going to be hectic." Like you'll see Pamela Anderson, and she'll be. I seen her the other day, like out in the shops. No jokes. I seen her online. She looks. I think she's 57. I just remember Pam Ann in Baywatch, back in the day, and I seen her today. I seen her online today, and I was like, for her age, for 57, she looks good.
Beautiful.
She looks
still.
good, but like you do realize, we were watching a show the other day, right? Morgan Freeman, he's looking old. He's like, how old is Morgan Freeman now? He's 80 something.
Yeah.
And it's these, and Denzel Washington in the new Gladiator, he's getting old. It just makes me just take a step back and think, fuck, mortality.
It gets everyone.
It gets everyone, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and these actors that I've grown up with, all that, you're just like, shit, everyone's getting old around me, and it's like, next thing will be like at that age where we're getting grey hairs, and it's like, oh man, it just makes you think like death's on everyone's door. It's just,
It happens, man.
Time gets us all, man.
that's it.
Well, that's it, right? We'll wrap up there because this fucking camera, I'm gonna throw it out the window.
Next week we should be.
But
good.
next week we've got a charger that charges while we record.
These cameras can't keep up, bro. They can't keep up with FireCast.
No, but yeah,
We got
that's
the wrong camera.
But in saying that, we didn't get the wrong camera. We just
Well, it's not for videos. It's a photo camera.
Lumberjack Pat has a point. Everything 4K is munching that. I reckon if we did just 1080, it'd survive the whole thing.
Yeah, probably.
4K uses a lot of fucking juice, which
Do you reckon the life of the camera will probably deteriorate if we keep doing it, even with the backup battery?
Well, it's
Nah,
made
nah.
for it. It's
Okay.
it's an option on there, so it's,
Yeah,
yeah, it can handle.
It is 4K uses a lot of
A lot
fucking
of
juice.
juice,
Like even
yeah.
when I export the video now, it's like literally double the time.
Yeah, okay.
So, well, that'll do us, guys. There's no fucking video, but as always, thank you as always, Tori. Thank you, Joey K, DZ.
Let's go.
Salut. Thanks for
Thank
listening.
you.
Thanks for watching. All that shit. Lucky they can't see that.
Lucky the video's off for that. Guys, as always, thank you so much. We've probably only got, 2 more episodes left before the year's fucking done.
That's it, man.
See you next week.
Remember to clap cheeks.
I'm taking them cheeks.
Bro,